Hi, this is Professor Arujo with a quick review of Module 1. So as you enter into the class, you'll see that on the left side, there's a Module 1 link. You want to click it. And here is the important things you have to know about Module 1. Matter of fact, every module will have a module to-do list. This is critical. So you want to go ahead and open up this particular file. It's a PDF file that you can save to your computer. And notice that it's basically a step-by-step to-do list. You have to follow the to-do list in the steps that are provided here. That's how the course is organized. That's how I would teach it in a face-to-face section. And it's very simple. You start off with step 1, which is learning objective 1 in chapter 1. If you have the book with you, those are the page numbers in the book. If not, you can read this on the Wiley reading section, no problem. And then you'll notice there's a small sort of reading quiz or review quiz of every objective. That's pretty common throughout the entire course. I'll have you read various parts of every chapter and just provide you with somewhat of a reading quiz to see if you got the major points of that. They're not all that difficult, but they're meant to make sure you've picked up the important parts. The next step is objective 2 in learning in chapter 1. The page numbers are listed. Same thing here, you're reading. There are do-it exercises throughout that are solved for you in every objective. And so to study those is to get a very good understanding of what your homework or parts of your homework would look like. In chapter 1, the biggest part of chapter 1 is learning objective 3. Your book actually breaks it into 3A and 3B. So I've used that. The breakdown is not apparent on Wiley Plus, it's just all learning objective 3. But the most important part to remember is learning objective 3 in chapter 1 is going to be the most time consuming part, because here you're going to be introduced to and prepare 3 critically important financial statements in accounting: the income statement, the retained earnings statement, and the balance sheet. Those are very, very time consuming to understand and do. I don't think they're very difficult, but they are very time consuming. So please make sure you put a lot of time aside for learning objective 3 within chapter 1, because it's going to take you a lot of time to get all that stuff done. After chapter 1 is complete, step 5 is a review. So you'll have homework posted on Wiley Plus that simply reviews the entire chapter. Then moving on to the next step, you'll see we'll start into chapter 2. Chapter 2, the big part of chapter 2 is learning objective 1. That's the heavy part of this chapter. This is where it's going to take you the most time. When I say heavy, that's what I mean, heavy in terms of time. And this is, again, something that you have to break into pieces to help you understand and digest that pretty well. So make sure you put extra time in or aside in your schedule to do learning objective 1 in chapter 2. It's on the classified balance sheet, and that just is going to take time. Again, after every little learning objective, there are reading quizzes all the way down. There are also do-it exercises that are already completed in the book. So they kind of give you a sample problem and they show you how to solve it. So those are always good to review to understand what's going on. Another thing that's important too is that I will be posting tutorials on Wiley to help you through your homework as well. Moving on here, chapter 2, learning objective 2, and the homework there, learning objective 3 in chapter 2, and the homework there, a review of chapter 2, and then the exam. The exam is per module, and that's on both chapters 1 and 2. If you notice back in the module, what other link you'll see is that there are recordings of previous lectures that I've done. So if you click on that, you'll notice that the recordings are listed here in the order, chapter, learning objective order. And if these help you understand the concepts, just like you were in class, that's what they're there for. You don't have to watch them, but most people have found them to be helpful. And that is your overview of Module 1.